So Tom, as I've said a couple of times throughout the video, is I'm going to do this in future. Tom can worry about it. But I always thought future Tom was going to be me. I didn't realize it was going to be you. This was the greatest idea ever. I probably should do the adult thing and fix this little problem. Good morning. When I ended it last time, we had the side project, and I said, now I'm going to go up and I'm going to start putting the floor joists in. Well, that's what I really want to do, but there is a little problem in the back that I've been putting off, and sorry, I'm trying to walk around here, that I don't want to do today, but I probably should do the adult thing and fix this little problem before I put more weight up there and make it harder to fix. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is this post, as you'll see here, I've thrown a piece on underneath, but it's not the right size. So as much as I want to pull this backside off and start putting up the second floor joist, I'm going to fix these two corners first, and hopefully I can do that in just a few hours, and then get on to the joist. But for right now, I'm going to get set up. I'm going to get these corners replaced, and then I'm truly finished with the framing on these walls, and I can start doing some other things. So as I do this, I may end up trying to stabilize this. I've got it braced off here, you can see on the inside, but I've got some OSB that's sitting on top of the floor joist, and I may end up throwing some of that up here as well, just to get it out of the way instead of trying to move it 2 or 3 times. But doing the corners, possibly a little bit of OSB, I don't know, maybe I'll just set it off to the side and do that later, and then we'll get it to joist. So time to get to work, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, well, first things first is let's get these support posts off. Hot. Okay, that's out of there. That will hold that really well, in theory. So let's see what happens when theory and reality meet. Perfect. And what I'm shooting for here, more than anything, is not lining up with this and this, but lining up this outer corner here, so I have something to nail to. And then I may actually even have to shim this upper post later on. So that's the most important thing, is to shim these outer corners, which then allows me to put the exterior sheathing on and have something to nail to. Okay. You can see this, how far off this is, but this wall's just a mess. And I'll just shim it out and fur it, and it'll have to be fine. Well, it will be fine. All right, I'm gonna call this fixed. Not perfect, but it's fixed. That'd be nice if it was plumb and square, but the reality of this old construction is that's just not going to happen. This wall is just too far out, because if I would have squared this up, if I would have plumbed this wall, then the front wall would have been a mess. So we work with what we got. All right, that'll do it. Corner's finished. Well, I've got that back corner done, and now I'm inside, and this back wall is between 1 inch and 2 inches shorter, where this plate is, than this one up here. So I've looked at it and it's like, well, what's the best way to approach this? And I honestly think the best way to approach this is pull the flooring, everything that I've got off up above here, pull that off. You can see that. Pull this beam, pull this up here, and then actually start getting these joists down, and then just running a level on it and just truly trying to fine tune it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This will be a little bit of a dirty part of the process, but a necessary part. So I'm going to start pulling all of this stuff down up here. So let's get started. Those of you who have been following along for a little while, you know that I definitely don't like being up here. It's a little sketchy. So to try to knock these boards loose down here, from down here, and then clear them out the backside or get them piled up to bring them out front. First thing I'm going to do though is try to get these loose. Hopefully they'll come loose for me, but we'll see. Yep, that's working. Although I will say, I don't like what's dropping down on my head, because I know that that's some nasty, nasty stuff. I don't think this is... Well, that works. This is clearing some stuff out. Man, that is dirty and nasty. Well, swinging this 4x4 is not fun, but it sure is effective. So I'm going to go back to it. Sure as heck is heavy. Whew. This is wearing me out. Oh. Woohoo! Making progress. Flooring up. You know, some of these are going to be a little rotten in spots, but overall, these floor joists are in surprisingly good condition. They kind of all have to come out together. Hopefully this doesn't fall on the camera outside. Safe so far. Woohoo! Fantabulous. All right, that's open. Now, you look down to see how this is all rotted. You see how these are rolling. That is why I didn't want to be up here. But as you can see, backside's wide open. I can now start putting my plating into here, or my room, to come in here and joist this off. And I'm going to be in good shape. So let me get this final piece off here and start taking the crossbeam off, crossbeam there, take this off, and then I'm actually going to start pulling the joist down. So let me get this off and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, well, let's take a look at this from the back side now. Wow, that's a change. That is a wide open building. Isn't that nuts? All right, I've got some joists to get up. So we did some measurements, and if we measure off of this stud right here and then pull 16 inches on center, excuse me, across the top of this, I only hit one post, and it's this one here. So that post up there, we can deal with that, but everything else is free and clear. And then Tom's great idea was, why don't we pull out this one section, put up the band board. So we're going to do this section here, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to pull those 5 joists, front and back. We're going to do the layout. And then once that layout's done, then we've got some stability to the building again. And that'll help us work on down through here and work it in phases. So we're going to get this set up and get after it. So Tom, as I've said a couple of times throughout the video, is I'm going to do this in future. Tom can worry about it. But I always thought future Tom was going to be me. I didn't realize it was going to be you. This was the greatest idea ever.
I got a guy.
Yeah, future Tom is that Tom. This 2x6 right here, this is our wall line. Okay? So I need to put the floor joist on this side so that the 2x6 will come down. Above this beam here, there will be 2x6 framing up. And this is proud of that. So I want to bring that 2x6 down and set it on this. So that joist, you see where I'm going with this? The inside of this first floor joist has to be on that line there. If it's inside of that, I can't slide my 2x6 down onto that beam without cutting it. Am I making sense?
Yeah, it's starting to come together for me. You've obviously thought about this
Yeah,
a bunch.
this first joist, if I get it too far that way, these 2x6s won't slide down past it. They'll hit. You know, the floor joist will be in here. Because see how much this is proud of that? So if I think of this going up in a straight line, and I put the first joist up against this, I can now slide my 2x6 balloon framing down on the outside of it, and it matches up on the outside wall. Because this is matching the outside wall. So this first joist, if I get it in the right place, then I can just pull 16 inches on center off on everything else. Okay. All right, Tom had to take off. And this farthest joist actually lands right in the middle of this beam here. So that's not what I want. I actually want it to be over. So I'm gonna have to make some adjustments where this beam goes. And I'm just gonna have it a little offline. But that's okay. I'll figure it out. And so what was I saying? Oh, I'm on my own. So I'm going to try to come in and get this beam, this next beam. I'm going to try to slide it up. And then you can't see it, but I've actually taken my speed square and clamped it on the line where it needs to go. So when I roll it up, it'll actually roll right in line where it needs to go. And then I can just nail it into place. I'm hoping that works, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, this is going to be the last one tonight, and I'm okay with that. This has really got me exhausted. So I'm going to bring one more in. I'm going to get it up, rolled in place. We're going to call that good for tonight. that is a wrap for tonight. I feel like I got a lot done. Those corners, got everything cleaned up upstairs, got my first section in. I'm super happy with that. Very, very happy to get that done, and extremely tired, absolutely exhausted. So thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. I've actually been at this for a couple hours this morning. Had to do some calculating and figuring, and what I have is one of the joists, this end one here, you'll see runs right up against that post. Well, it actually should have been in the middle of the post, so it was off about an inch and a half. So I needed to do some calculating and make sure that as I laid this out, it wasn't going to cause me any problems, and it won't. It's not at a 4-foot break, and it's not an 8-foot break. It's in the middle, and my flooring is calculated about an L over 780. So there's just it's way overbuilt, is bottom line. So it doesn't hurt it. So today, now that I've got that done, I am going to continue pulling down these joists here in this section, and just start doing my calculations and trying to get joists up. I am working alone today, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done, but in my ideal world, it doesn't rain on me and I get all these joists up. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Okay, going to get some of these old joists out of here now, make some room to start putting in the new ones. I'm going to go ahead and do the layout up here for the rest of the joists, so that I'll know what I'm working with, and I may actually work from this side over. So yeah, I may do that. That may end up being the easiest way to get it done. So now this joist is in the wrong place by an inch, so I've got to go over one joist and make my marks. So you can see how the 1/16 goes there. That's off by an inch and a half, an inch, and then I'm gonna go here, all right, I'm back from lunch, and took a little longer for lunch. Tired, it's really hot out today, and just decided to relax for a little while. But I feel good now, and I'm ready to dive into this project. So my challenge is I've got to take measurements, and I've got to measure the length of these joists here that you'll see. I've got to measure this length for outside to outside, and then take 3 inches off. So why do I take 3 inches off? Because there's a band board, and let me see here. If you look on the outside, there's a band board, and that band board is 1.5 inches. And there's one on each side. So 1.5 inches, 3 inches. So the measurement I'm going to take is from the outside of this right here to the outside of that, to the beam on the other side. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's actually there's a board that, there's a board that I screwed on over there that's vertical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my laser level right here, and which is now not working. Okay, and I have it set up so that the measurement is from this point here to whatever I touch. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is 16 feet and I think 1/4 inch. So 16 feet 1/4 inch is my measurement there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that laser measurement, 16 feet 1/4 inch. I will take 3 inches off of that, 1.5 inches for each one of the band boards that goes around. That's the thing I just showed you. And then I'll make my cuts, crown them, and then just roll them up and set them into place. Okay, well, I've got this band board up. I've just cut all of the joists for this section here, and I'm gonna get them up in place now. Drum roll, please. The last freaking joist. Woohoo! I am so happy for this. Oh. And I'm exhausted. Oh. Okay, I got this. More drum roll. And yes. Whew. Oh my God. I am so happy. I cannot put into words how happy I am that that is up there. All right, I'm gonna get it nailed off. Put the band board up along the back. And floor joists are finished. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a wrap. I still have band board to do, so it's not quite a wrap. But I'm not going to film that. That's just straightening joists and nailing them in. But this is a wrap on getting the floor joists up. I'm extremely happy with the way this has worked out and how parallel the building is. I mean, it's shockingly parallel, like within 1/4 of an inch for a building that's, I don't know, 120 years old at least, I'm guessing, somewhere around there. So yeah, I'm just beyond excited about this. So thank you for watching. I appreciate the time you share with me. And if you would like and subscribe, that would be amazing. But hopefully we'll see you on the next video where we're going to be putting floor decking up. So until then, have an amazing day. Go out and get your hands dirty and try something new. We'll see you on the next one.